One.
Alright, hello, this is the 2018 Christmas Poem Year in Review from me. I hope I don't fuck it up. Alright, this is going live to the world, so here we go. Alright, are we going alright so far? Well, it didn't take too long and the year had just begun. But I hadn't quite expected for events to be this much fun. We know politics in this country can often be quite vicious. So it was nice to hear the French president say, Lucy Turnbull, you're delicious. Now the year began quietly and was really just meandering. And then suddenly we got the news about Barnaby's philandering. The beetroot-headed member got bored out on the hustings and slipped a length to his media girl, the aim of all his lustings. The poor young thing fell pregnant, but that we know it's certain. While Joyce tried to explain, oh, it's rare for me to be flirting. The rumours went into overtime and widely circulated. Barnaby wasn't the father. Someone else had ejaculated. He went back to his electorate in search of a sympathetic ear. But a couple of local farmers said, what the fuck are you doing here? So he pissed off round the country, looking for anyone to lure, and continued on with his I'll talk to anyone tour. No, he's the family values guy where marriage is sacrosanct, but Barnaby, it's obvious, you should have just stayed home and wanked. The double standards, therefore, were well and truly set, as the Canberra lies and bullshit gave us a year we won't forget. Turnbull reassured us he's the best leader in the land and promptly told his ministers all department sex is banned. So if you stray, the rules are clear for all you studs and wenches. A bonking Royal Commission will be called for you front benches. And if you're a member from the country or a Liberal who's well heeled, your penis will be tied in knots and your growler hermetically sealed. Now one night, I was watching the telly when the news suddenly hit. A cricket ball was being polished with some sticky tape and grit. The world went into outrage. The stock market duly crashed. The Aussies had been cheating. Our reputation trashed. Steve Smith said he was guilty, and Warner to an extent. They figured they could cheat, but getting caught's not what they meant. When Warner bats, he likes to drive and cut, but mostly he's a dill. And wife Candy, she likes it on a length, just ask Sonny Bill. And so the saga ended, and weren't there some red faces, as Warner, Smith and Bancroft duly lost their places. Lehman followed soon and fell upon his sword, but you just can't help feel that all this shit emanated from the board. So, news poll number 30 came with Turnbull under heat. There was a talk about a spill, but would the Conservatives retreat? Would all this instability eventually take its toll? Or would the winners be the Monash group, those lovers of black coal? And never mind the lies they tell and changing of position, like never ever saying there'd be a banking Royal Commission. Those guys love a slush fund and lots of dodgy deals. Hold them to account, I say, and listen to the squeals. Now the government is so incompetent that the country's nearly cactus. So weren't they bloody happy with a royal wedding to distract us? There was Harry, the fat father, the actress Meghan Markle. The tabloids went into a frenzy. Wasn't that a bloody debacle? Now, it was claimed Labour's Emma Hussar was a bully. Did we care? They said she'd done a Sharon Stone on front bencher Jason Clare. There were lies and innuendo, the standard sort of smear. They even found a photo of her legs up behind her ear. Now we know there are dangerous and poisonous pests roaming in Australia, but did you know there was anything quite as feral as Michaelia? She spits and snarls and swears, and with that hair there's nothing fouler. Pity help any man that's attracted by a growler. So we got to Super Saturday, a day of by-elections. Labor got across the line despite their imperfections. One nation had to go with not that much to lose, while Pauline sunned herself on that fucking Love Boat cruise. One nation taking charge. Now there's a bloody spectre. But Hanson would be hopeless without James Ashby to protect her. We'd do ourselves a favour if these minor parties were delisted. Lionel Mazod and Bernardi, simply twisted. Now our pollies want our trust on things, so sometimes they will beg. And this time they wanted us all to get behind the neg. They lied, of course, which doesn't really cut it with the masses. It's the shit they talk out of the arse, which is the real cause of greenhouse gases. Now, if you thought I'd forgotten Trumpy, then I reckon you'd be wrong. I mean, how could I forget his meeting with Kim Jong? He's imposed tariffs now with China, made an enemy of Iran, and now he's best mates with Putin and that dickhead, Rocket Man. Now, September saw the needles in strawberries give everyone a scare, but I think it's the pricks in Canberra who we should really be aware. But would they really lie to us? Would they, just to get our votes? I mean, are the Kennedys shy of guns? Can Dolly Parton float? Now, Dutton challenged Turnbull, but stuffed up well and truly. So it was sod off Mel, you wanker, and you can go too, Julie. Dutton is a creep, and for refugees he doesn't care unless you're blonde and buxom and you work as an au pair. So he went to the polls in Wentworth, which the Liberals held for years, but the voters weren't all that happy and ScoMo had his fears. So he thought shifting our embassy to Jerusalem would make everything alright until Pauline chimed in with a policy that it's okay to be white. So some Einstein in the Liberal ranks said, ScoMo, you're a star. Go and catch the blue bus. Don't do it by a car. But the rednecks up in Queensland knew he was a pest, looking like a dick in a baseball cap and a high-vis vest. So we think of him in Melbourne as the action man, officially Premier Andrews, but he's better known as Dan. There have been accusations, and the Liberals think it's true. Is the state really being run by the CFMEU? Now they say the fish rots from the head, but in this case it's a lobster. Matthew Guy would know about that after dining with a mobster. His big bug eyes and schoolboy looks. He's not the leader that we want, not someone who dines with the mafia at a seafood restaurant. So in closing, as I ponder, if the year has been a flop, I ask the important question, should our onions be on top? or should it be the sausage? And do we really care? Just don't eat the ones with veins in them, or come with pubic hair.